Welcome to our program, Path to Freedom. On Path to Freedom, we always discuss various topics which is important to our day-to-day life. And today on Path to Freedom, we will be touching on the importance of the concept of motivation for a successful lay life as depicted in Buddhism. So to do the honors, we have with us Venerable Varanyana Thera, who is a PhD holder in Buddhist studies, former visiting lecturer and postgraduate Institute of Pali and Buddhist Studies, University of California. We are honored to have you here with us, Venerable Thera.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here to talk to
you. Venerable Thera, today's topic would be on the importance of the concept of motivation. So this is as depicted in Buddhism. So first and foremost, what is the concept of motivation according to Buddhism?
First of all, the term motivation is not originally Buddhist word. It's derived from Western psychology. That's why in the Buddhist study we use the concept of motivation. So let me turn a little bit to the Western psychology, how the Western psychologists, they have been used this word in the many sectors. Like the concept of motivation, they define as a example, like motivation is a hunger, something seek the food. So it's a motivation, so clear definition. So, and this concept, these techniques have been used widely in the Western psychology in many sectors of the daily life. Business people use for marketing, and the politicians use in the campaign and their elections to mobilize the people. And the religious leader used to motivate the people. And the army, especially the leader, the commanders, they use this motivation concept to motivate the soldier to send the war, to send the front line, to love the country, something like that. So they've been using this word. So when we come to the Buddhist context, this word also similar to the West, how the Western psychology used in the Buddhist teaching. But there's something to say. In the Buddhism, this concept of motivation, even though this word is not originally Buddhist word, this concept has more deeper sense, more profound the sense. Why do I mean by that? The concept of motivation related to our actions, and more importantly is related to the sensory dimension. Sensory, because we Buddhists believe that there were many previous lives, there will be many future lives, so in this life too. So in the Buddhism, the concept of motivation is related to this sensory dimension. So I want to highlight here what is the concept of motivation in the Buddhism. This concept located three kinds of the fundamental roots. We call the three wholesome and unwholesome factor in the Buddhism. Six kinds of roots mean lobha, greed, dosa, aversion, and moha, delusion. These are three unwholesome roots. We call three poison, the moral evil. And on the other hand, there are three kinds of wholesome roots: alobha, generosity; adosa, the aversion, loving kindness, metta; and amoha, the delusion. Amoha, penya, non-delusion. So these six kinds of roots are fundamentally considered the concept of the Buddhist motivation, the concept of motivation in the Buddhism. So why the can be considered, these six kaiso roots can be considered as motivational, the concept in Buddhism, because these six kaiso roots are directly related to our actions, our physical actions, verbal actions, and our mental action. That's why I define that those six kaiso roots, fundamental roots, are the concept of motivation in Buddhism.
That's as in the theory of Buddhism.
Yes, you can say that, the theory of Buddhism, the theory of the motivation in Buddhism, yes.
And how is it important, the concept of motivation in the form of Buddhism, to lay life? How important is this?
It's a very good question. Yes, how important is it? As I said earlier, these six kaiso roots, the unwholesome roots and wholesome roots, are directly related to our daily actions, physical actions, verbal actions, mental actions. So because we are dealing with all the time in the day-to-day life, these kinds of actions, every moment, every hours, every day we are dealing with, this way is so important. But more importantly, I just want to relate that the factors, six factors, are also related to when we explain the ultimate goal of the Buddhism. We all know that the ultimate goal of Buddhism is Nibbana. Nibbana, which is free from the sensory existence or suffering. So if someone asks what is the Dhamma, today we are practicing the Dhamma, is a real Dhamma, is a real, the correct path, or no? How can we realize that? How can we know that? And more importantly, how can we separate the Dhamma from what is not? What is not? So when we dealing with these kind of questions, though, the ultimate goal of the Buddhism is Nibbana, as I told that. So when we define Nibbana, Nibbana is the place there is no greed, lobha, is called alobha. The place in which there is no the aversion, dosa. The place no moha. So Nibbana is defined alobha, the no attachment, adosa, no aversion, and amoha, wisdom, pinya. So Nibbana can be defined this. So the path to go Nibbana must be no lobha, no dosa, no moha. The practice which is able to eradicate lobha, dosa, moha. That is the Dhamma. This is called Dhamma. In this way, we can separate the Dhamma from what is not. So this why this concept is directly related to the ultimate goal of the Buddhism, and also related to our day-to-day life actions, physical actions, verbal actions, mental action. That's why that is the reasons why it is so important in life. Yes.
And Venerable Thera, what are the specific motivation factors that lay conducive to a successful lay life? Spoke of theory. Let's touch on the practical form of this.
You are right, yes. So we've been talking about theory, right? Motivation. So we come to talk now the practical part of this discussion, I think. So what is the factors? So the factors, I have already explained that the six kinds of factors, lobha, dosa, moha, which is the motivate our actions, and alobha, adosa, amoha also motivate our actions. If our actions are motivated by the unwholesome, our actions will be unwholesome actions. Unwholesome actions, lobha, the greed actions, aversion, dosa actions, moha, delusion actions, right? If our actions are motivated by goodwill, the wholesome, it will be good actions. So these secrets are the factor or the specific factors of motivations. But I want to relate here, because of the topics, we've been talking mostly about psychological part, but I just also want to relate because the main topic is the lay life, right? We focus on the
exactly. The main topic is how can we make this applicable in our day-to-day life.
How can we practice? How can we cultivate these factors, the motivation concept, to get a success in lay life, right? So I want to put the factors to get a success in life. There are 5 factors that I'm going to highlight here, and I also want to relate to the bodhisattva. When the bodhisattva practice perfections may not something away from us. I have already explained. Alobha, generosity. Adosa, the loving kindness. Amoha, wisdom. Those are perfections. So when the bodhisattva fulfill the paramita, those perfections, so these 5 techniques that the bodhisattva, the Buddha to be, had been using in his previous life to get a Buddha whole. So these 5 factors also included as a specific motivational factors. Yes, I will explain later what are those factors.
So we were touching on the motivational factors that lay conducive to a successful lay life. So talking about this current situation right now, we have a pandemic going around, and of course it is not looking so great world over. Mm-hmm. So how can we stay motivated, and how can we move forward in life?
Yes, that is the practical, how can we practice, how can we use those factors
exactly
to get a success in life, and to remove such we have many instabilities, mental instabilities because of the pandemic, because some of the causes many around us. Yes, we consider as a motivational factors those 3: lobha, dosa, moha. So every Buddhist knows about these 3. But when we closely analyze this, why these 3 can be obstacle in our life, how can we remove this? So I also believe that to get a success in life, we also need to understand those motivational factors, especially 3 unwholesome factors. They block in our way to get a success in life, I believe. Because attachment, we want to get a more. Sometimes we have something, we attach it, we cannot move forward. But sometimes it's even worse than that. Even though we have something we don't have, but we're imagining a kind of hypothetical assumption, we are in trouble. It's called the name is but the self-creative suffering, self-creative pain. In this circumstance, as you mentioned, the pandemic, the period, so most of the things that we are thinking, mentally, we are not stable. So I want to take an example. What happened mostly in our life, a monk, a Buddhist monk, want to meditate, want to renounce, and he take a boat, and he left the temple. He came to the river with a small boat. And when he came to the mid of the river, he wanted to meditate that. And on the mid of the river, he was meditating. And suddenly, another boat hit his boat. He got angry. What kind of people do this? I'm meditating. Is he blind? Something like that.
He's not supposed to get angry.
Yes, they're angry. He angry. So these people, why he did not see me? I'm monks in meditating. He hit me in my boat. It disturbed me. And when he opened the eyes, boat is empty. No one there. So his anger has gone. So why he was angry before? Because he knows someone did this. But later he realized that there's no one. So no angry. Just like that, we in our life mostly we angry with someone without the analyzing the cause, the rationale behind this. So mostly it's called I call it self-creative suffering. Self-creative suffering.
It's things we make up in our minds.
Yes, you make it in our minds, and we are creating this kind of thought. And I also want to share with you another in our tradition, Burmese Buddhist tradition, in the cold season, in the remote place, a temple, monks and his kapia helper live together. In the morning time, they make a fire and they warm themselves at fire, waiting someone who will bring breakfast for them. And the monks and kapias waiting. At that time, the idea comes to the monk's mind that if I get a piece of meat, a flesh, a piece of bee, I'm going to cook the fire and I'm going to eat eagerly. How delicious it will be. And he was thinking that. And he was so pleasant and so delightful thinking about it. And then he shared with his kapia, his helper. Kapia, if I get a kind of meat, I'm going to cook it. I'm going to eat it. So delicious it will be. Kapia say, Venerable, in this temple, you and me live together. If you get a kind of meat, you have to share some with me. And the Venerable said, why I have to share? I get only one piece of meat. So Kapia said, no, it's not fair. You have to share some. Then they are arguing. Finally, they are fighting. Each other fighting close to the fire. When the man come from the village, bringing the breakfast, he saw that what's happening here. So they are fighting. Why fighting? So the Kapia say, monks doesn't share with me some meat. Where is the meat? So but just imagining. So there's a funny story, but in reality, we are in it. We have many trouble. We are in trouble in this way in life. So that kind of attachment. Another one is anger. As I explained to you, why the angers. When we say the anger, abhidhamically, three others, Asa, the kind of evil, Maitreya, avarice, and kind of Kukucha, worry also together. So another one is the wisdom. See, we have to overcome this kind of delusion by wisdom. So that is at least, yes, the final goal of the Buddhism is to reach Nibbana. Even though we cannot reach this into day-to-day life, if we can reduce to some extent, we become the real happy people. Because to get a success in life, to get a real happiness in life, those are the negative motivation. I use the negative motivation factors. So I want also relate that to get a success in lay life. These are the generosity, loving kindness, and the wisdom. Pinya are perfections. Perfection is something ripen, the enlightened one. When the Bodhisattva, when he had been fulfilling this parami, he used 5 techniques that I have already told you earlier. It's called Bodhipajana Dhamma. Bodhipajana means a practice which ripen enlightenment, the wisdom. So those 5 factors are, number 1 is Chirakala Bhavana. Chirakala Bhavana means doing something good for a long time. It's not short time. For a long time, you will see that from Sumedha, when we look at the life or the previous life of our Buddha, the Bodhisattva, he get a predictions to be the Buddha from the Dibangara Buddha. He had been fulfilling these perfections, the 4 countless periods and 100,000 wars. So such long time. He had been doing this. So to get a success in life, I believe that if we can follow this Chirakala Bhavana, keep doing this for a long time, so important. That is the first one. And the second one is Nirandra Bhavana, the Pali word. So Nirandra means without interval, without interaction. it means that you do something today, and you do another thing today, another thing. You are just shifting and moving, not like this. If you think something is fruitful, something is beneficial for you, just do it. Do it continuously.
As long as it doesn't harm anybody.
Yeah.
As long as it doesn't harm anybody else.
Yes. So don't stop there. Like Andarami, without interval, without interaction, just keep on doing this. It's number 2. Number 3 is the Nirawa Sesa Bhavana. Without remaining, do it now. Don't give it as a remaining. Something like, I'm going to do tomorrow. It can finish today, but it should not be moved to tomorrow. So just do it. Like, sometimes we feel that we're just doing, and okay, I'm boring today, I don't want to work. Because especially in this time, you also have, how can we relate these factors to the present condition, the pandemic? Because we don't know we will be alive tomorrow, because it's so fast. We are seeing this, the pandemic is so fast. The causing the problem, many problems. So we need to cultivate our immunity physically and the spiritual immunity too. So without remaining, what should be done today, just do it. So it's called Nirawa Sesa Bhavana. So to get a success in life, it is so important. Number 4 is Sakejja Bhavana. Sakejja Bhavana in the Pali word means the systematically doing. And more importantly, Sakejja is the carefully doing. Is so important. Whatever you do, just carefully do. Don't less effort. It's a big, you put maximum effort on it. Keep doing this. And don't let okay, I'm merely doing, I'm boring this, I have to do this, not like this. In this case, the Bodhisattva was compared to the lion. When the lion try to catch a being, a elephant or cow or whatever, no carelessly, no less effort, all the time maximum effort, all the time carefully. So in this way, doing something in life to get a success in lay life is so important. Whatever you do, no carelessly, but carefully, with a full attention. Just like a lion trying to catch elephant, even when he tried to catch a rabbit, with a full attention, carefully. So it's number 4. Number 3 is ability bhavana. Ability is the delightfully doing and actively doing, not like a boring way, just like you feel there is something to be happily doing.
It's basically like loving yourself and doing what you love as well.
Yes, what you love yourself, loving yourself, what you love yourself. Really, exactly. So this ability bhavana. Those 5 factors, I believe that Bodhisattva, having using these 5 factors, and this kind of 5 factors ripen the enlightened one, he become the Buddha, based on these 5 techniques. So even these 5 techniques can ripen the enlightenment. Why not in the lay life to get a success in life? So I believe that is truly the energetic motivational factors to get a success in life.
And we've come towards the latter part of the program as well, Venerable Thera. So we spoke of motivation factors that lay conducive to a successful lay life, and we also touched on some factors which should be practiced on the long run. So the applicability of this is also important, and since we are in the final few minutes, let's touch on how people can, get away from distraction, because in this current technological era, I think we have a lot of distractions, don't we?
Yeah. So you're right. It's a very good question. In the technological era, people we are dealing with all the time this thing, and I also feel that we human beings become more materialist, and we are getting away from our mother nature, because we are just following this. And before, for example, like 100 years ago, when we look at the human history, people were suffering. They suffer because of war, because of other natural disaster, because of other many kinds of the tragedies come to human being. So people thought that time like, if I got a water, because to get a water bottle, you have to walk a mile. To get a piece of bread, you have to walk a mile. It's so difficult at that time to get even a piece of food. But at that time, if we got electricity, if we got water close to us, how the lives will be, how beautiful will be. But now, new generation, us, we are richer than the people 100 years ago. We are healthier than, we are safer than. So the question is, are we really happy now? So why? So that there's the answer from the Buddhist point of view. Happiness doesn't come from outside. Happiness from out within
from
us.
Within.
Within us, it's come out. Because we can establish ourselves, our happiness. That is called the true happiness. Because nowadays we are seeing that, because I also use Facebook. So for example, someone they tell you that you are happy, you are beautiful, you may be happy. Another one say you are ugly, you may be angry. Even though you are not angry, you don't like it, this kind of comment, right? So what happened to us? We are just our mentality is changing because of other people. It's called, I mentioned earlier, self-creative suffering, self-creative pain. Actually, we are creating we have a pain. For example, according to my experience, to highlight here, when I meditate the 1 hour, for example, 1.5 hours, there's a pain, body pain, right? Sometimes I really unbearable, so difficult to maintain, give this kind of pain. Or where is it the times when it's over, I'm awaiting the time, because I cannot bear that kind of pain. As soon as the time's up, the teacher or our teacher say, time's up, you can go now. As soon as that time, such pain has gone suddenly. Where is the pain? I did not move yet. I have not moved yet any position. My position has not moved yet, but the pain not there. So why this pain? It's out me creating this kind of pain. Another example, when I go because I've been working a research student. When I meet my supervisor, sometimes my supervisor try to blame me because I have not done the work he asked. He said that you have not done what I asked. Maybe you are stupid. Maybe. Yeah, for example, he said to me, and I cannot tell him back anything because he is my supervisor. I have to be patient with that wall. Okay, I came out from my supervisor, and the taxi driver said to me, because of some case, he said, you are stupid. Something like that. I cannot bear it. What? Someone like you tell me this? Who do you think I am? Something like that. So the same word. My supervisor used this word. Taxi driver used this word. But this person I can be angry with, but that person I cannot because of my teacher, my supervisor. So mostly we are multiplying this kind of mentality. So especially in this time, people are facing many unexpected the circumstances because of the pandemic. So I want to say that we are dealing with that kind of self-creative pain, self-creative suffering. It is so important and to know that. And yes, that is what we have.
That certainly is, I think, a message we should ponder about and work on it as well, because it's not easy. It's easier said than done for many people to get out of distraction and try to understand and love ourselves. So that's what we do through this program. Educate them on the importance of loving themselves and also how to lead a lay life, a good lay life.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Venerable Thera, for being a part of the show. It was really an honor speaking to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Why I feeling this so much angry with the taxi driver, not my supervisor? Because I'm creating